let's understand Buddhism and how to apply it in daily life. Buddhism is not an ism. Let's understand little by little. What we are going to understand, Buddhism and how to apply it in daily life. Perfectly self-awakened one. That is Samma Sambuddha. Buddha is called Samma Sambuddha. It's a self-awakening. Perfectly self-awakened one. Why is perfect? Nothing lacking. It's a perfect enlightenment. That is why Buddha is called self-awakened, awakened one. Self-awakened, Samma Sambuddha. Perfectly enlightened one. So what is Buddhism? Buddhism, what you call Buddhagama. In Sri Lanka, we talk about Buddhagama. Most people are following Buddhagama.
Yes.
Buddhagama is not what the Buddha said.
It's not a religion.
Buddhism is not a religion, not a philosophy, not our culture, not our tradition, not our civilization, not our history. Then what is that? If Buddhism is not all this, most of us...
Dharma.
It's like day-to-day life.
Dharma.
Let's see. Buddhism is not an ism. First we have to understand that. This is not an ism. Isms, in the time of the Buddha, there were isms. There were 62 isms. 62 isms. Buddha never wanted to introduce the 63rd one. Buddha did not want to introduce the 63rd one. Even as I said this morning, it is not Buddhism, since we have no other gracious term to use, we have to use the term Buddhism. No other term. We have to use it. So we have to emphasize here Buddhism. Buddhism is a way of life. Buddhism is a way of life. It is nothing but the real teachings of the Buddha. That is what is called Buddhism. What the Buddha really taught. If we want to understand Buddhism, we have to understand what the Buddha really taught. That is the meaning. I said this morning, you will drink water from the spring, not from the mouth. Mouth of the river. Not from the mouth of river. What is that? That is the spring. Spring means from original things. Originally, Buddha taught, first discourse, what we recited now, Dhamma Sutta. That we have to understand. If we want to understand Buddhism, we have to understand, we have to read. Understand means not from many different sources. Some people might chant, might tell you this is what the Buddha said, but you yourself have to do your own studies, explorations. You have to do it yourself. You have to recite. If you want to understand Buddhism, you have to recite, you have to understand Dhamma Sutta. Now we recited it. That is the first discourse. Then the second one, as the Buddha delivered the first one, only Venerable Kondanya understood this. Kondanya realized this. Others, they could not understand. Why? They were Brahmins. They all had the idea of self, soul. They thought that there is a permanent entity. As long as you believe a permanent entity, you cannot understand what you call impermanence. So, Buddha had to deliver another discourse which is Anatta Lakkhana Sutta. That is the second discourse of the Buddha. We have to read that also. Then the Buddha delivered another discourse, Aditta Paryaya Sutta. Aditta Paryaya is the fire sermon. The Buddha delivered this for these three brothers, Uruvela Kashyapa, Nadi Kashyapa and Gaya Kashyapa. These are in order. First, second, third. We have to read these three and understand what the Buddha has taught us. These are the original teachings. Then not only these three. First we have to read this, understand this. Then there are a lot of discourses, about 18,000. 18,000 discourses. But you don't want to read all these. You don't want to read all these things. There are particular discourses to read and understand the technique of meditation. Buddha's technique of meditation is different from that of others. It is unparalleled. Now, there was a king named Mahakappina who adopted his throne and became a monk. The king, he became a monk. As he practiced, he understood the Dhamma and he enjoyed this. And he became so happy, delighted by practicing. And after that he started to sit all the time, wherever he is going, wherever he is living, he always says, oh, aho sukang, oh, what a blessing, what a happy, like that. So then, when this was informed to the Buddha said, he who drinks the Dhamma lives happily with a tranquil mind. The wise one ever delights in the Dhamma proclaimed by the noblest one, the Buddha. That is what the Buddha said. What is to be abandoned from your home to practice Buddhism? That is, some people want to abandon, want to give up many things. People think that we can't practice because of these parents. So for some people, they can't practice Buddhism because of parents, or because of their children, because of their his wife and husband, or things at home, material things. Should we give up all these things? Should we abandon anything to practice Buddhism? No. Nothing to abandon, nothing to give up to practice Buddhism. First you have to understand home. Right after the enlightenment of the Buddha said this stanza, through many a birth I wandered in samsara, seeking but not finding the builder of this house. That is the house you have to understand, not your physical home. Physical house, this is not the physical house that you want to give up. You have to take care of this house, this home. What is that? Let's understand. Sorrowful it is to be born again and again. Sorrowful it is to be born again and again. Would they address the builder of house, this house? Builder of this house. Oh, house builder, Buddha said, oh, house builder, thou art seen, I see you. Thou shalt build no house again. All thy rafters are broken. Thy rich world is shattered. My mind has attained the unconditioned unconditioned. This translation is not correct. That is the problem with the translations. We have to understand, in accordance with the Pali term, we have to understand the correct terms. Otherwise we miss the Dhamma. Achieved is the end of craving. Now let's understand what the Buddha says here. Now there is the house. What is that house? Now this house, if the people believe this house, sometimes the people think that this house means this body, which is incorrect. Which is incorrect. You know, this body, only humans and animals have this body. But Buddha talked about 5 aggregates. 5 aggregates are there in all beings. Whether they are humans, animals, hungry ghosts, devas, brahmas, they all have 5 aggregates. That is 5 aggregates is the house. That house is built by craving. So Buddha wanted to find that builder. Buddha understood the builder of this house. The builder of the house is craving. So where do they arise? 5 aggregates, where do they arise? In the eye, in the ear, in the nose, in the tongue, in the body, and in the mind. They all the time they are arising, passing. Then what happens? We grasp these 5 aggregates. We grasp this, and that is what is called 5 aggregates subject to clinging. Upadana skandha. Panchaskandha becomes upadana skandha. If they become upadana skandha, that is what is called suffering. So Buddha said, how I see the builder of this house, this pancha upadana skandha are built by this house builder. Who is the house builder? Craving. Craving is to be destroyed. Buddha said, the house builder, thou art seen. Thou shalt build no house again. You cannot build house again. Craving, addressing the craving. Thy rafters are broken, no more rafters. What you call parala. Ridgefall is shattered. Ridgefall is shattered. My mind has attained unconditioned. This unconditioned means in Pali, the term in Pali term is sankhata. But in this case, Buddha did not talk about sankhata. My mind has attained free from volitional formations. Sankhara. Visankara gatan chittang. That is how the Buddha said. Visankara. Not sankhata. Visankhata, Buddha did not say visankhata, but visankhara gatan chittang. That is why I said that this translation is incorrect. So the builder of the house is craving. Now, the Buddha, what the Buddha really taught? Buddha himself said what he said, what he taught. This is from Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the last days of the Buddha. Addressing the monks, the Buddha said, now, O monks, the Dhamma which I have discovered and proclaimed should be thoroughly learnt by you, practiced, developed, and cultivated, so that this holy life may endure for a long time, that it may be for the benefit and happiness of the multitude, out of compassion for the world, for the benefit and happiness of devas and humans. Buddha said, what I have discovered, what I have realized, should be thoroughly learnt by you. Addressing the monks, the Buddha said this. It's not only for monks. When the Buddha said monks, it's not only for monks. Monks, nuns, layperson, laymen, they all have to practice. And what are those Dhamma? What are the Dhamma that I discovered? They are the 4 establishments of mindfulness, the 4 right efforts, the 4 roads to power, the 5 spiritual faculties, the 5 mental powers, the 7 factors of enlightenment, and the Noble Eightfold Path. Those are the Dhamma taught by the Buddha. Right? These are the Dhamma. 4 foundations of mindfulness. Satara Satipatthana. The 4 right efforts. There are 4 again. Then 4 roads to power. There are 4 again. Then 5 spiritual faculties. 5 mental powers. There are 5. Then 7 factors of enlightenment. The 7. Then the Noble Eightfold Path. There are 8. Then altogether 37. These are called 37 factors of enlightenment. These are the Dhamma rediscovered by the Buddha. All these Dhamma can be condensed into 3. Like this. Triangle. In the world, there are 3 shapes. These are the 3 shapes the Buddha realized. Square shapes, then circles, then there are triangles. In everything you can see these 3 shapes. Not all the 3, at least 1. In everything, every single thing you can see at least 1 of these 3 shapes. Right? The first Buddha's central teaching is the 4 noble truths. That's the central teaching. Then the dependent origination, Paticca Samuppada. Then 3 characteristics of existence. These are the major 3 Dhamma realized by the Buddha under the Bodhi tree. Those who want to understand this Dhamma and the teaching of the Buddha, what you call Buddhism, Buddha Dharma, whatever you call it, if you want to understand, we have to study these 3 principles. These are called principles. Without knowing these 3 principles, we cannot understand Buddhism. In order to understand this, to know this, we have to understand first, when you practice Satipatthana, 4 Satipatthana first. 4 Satipatthana are to be practiced, developed like delving a tunnel. It's delving a tunnel. Suppose there's a huge mountain. You don't know what are things behind the mountain. You want to go to the other side, but you can't go. So you have to make a tunnel. Then to make the tunnel, that is the practice. That is the task of the practitioner, meditator. So when you dig the tunnel, you have to do it. You have to cut it in a square shape. That is what is called Satara Satipatthana. establishments of mindfulness. With the weapon of wisdom, you have to delve this tunnel. Then when you come to the end, you can see the light. That is what you see here. At the end of the tunnel, you see the light. That is what happens. So today there are three major schools: Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. In all these three, all Buddhist schools, sect, whatever you call, they all have to accept these three principles. If they don't accept these three principles, they are not Buddhist. If you want to ask any questions, stop me and ask. It's all right. This is not pouring, but feeding. I want to give you the real Dhamma, what the Buddha really taught. That's why I want to tell you. If you want to ask any questions, stop me and ask. It's all right. Now, this is what basically the Buddha realized, these three major principles. All Dhamma can be condensed into this. Now, the Buddha, after his enlightenment, the Buddha dissected this person and understood that there are 42 parts. Most people know only 32 parts. 32 parts of the body, but there are 42 parts. And then the Buddha dissected this mind. Mind, you can't see mind. You can see this brain. Brain is a station of mind. One station. There are three different stations for mind to stay, to be connected. Then Buddha pointed out three aspects of mind: Chitta, Mano, and Vijnana. Chitta is, when the mind is connected to heart, it is called Chitta. That is the emotional aspect of mind. Emotional. Whenever you have emotions, you hold like this. Oh, mom passed. Oh, like that. Oh, something like that. Love. Fear. When you have fear, not here, but here, right? Fear. Emotions. Love. When you have love, that's the same. Fear. That's emotional. Emotional aspect of mind is Chitta. Then mental, intellectual aspect, Mano. It is in brain. That is what is called intellectual aspect of mind. Then the mind is connected to 6 senses. Then it is called Vijnana. We have 6 classes of Vijnana, 6 classes of consciousness, but not 6 consciousnesses. We have only one consciousness. Whether you call it consciousness or mind, it's the same. Only one. Unfortunately, in English we have no 3 terms to explain this mind. Only we have 2 terms, mind and consciousness. In Sinhala the same. In Sinhala also we have no 3 terms to explain these 3. Instead we use the word hita. Hita කියනවා. මොකක්ද කියන්නේ හිත කියන්නේ? හිත which හිත? with හිත නේද? ඒකනේ හිත නේ කියන්නේ. හිත කියවට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ මේක. You have to understand, when the mind is connected to these 3 different places. That is why I say that it is the stations. Vijnana Thiti. There is a discourse named Vijnana Thiti, in which the Buddha said 4 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, and volitional formations. These are the stations of consciousness. Okay. Now the Buddha taught us the Dhamma based on the mind.
Swami, can you explain the Vijnana again? Chitta, Mano and the Vijnana?
Vijnana means when the mind is connected to six senses. That is what is called perceptual aspect of mind. Sorry, I couldn't explain that. Three aspects: emotional aspect, intellectual aspect, and perceptual aspect. Perception, when you perceive things, you have to understand through your consciousness. That is called Vijnana. When the mind is connected to eye, it is called Chakku Vijnana. When the mind is connected to ear, it is called Sota Vijnana. When it is connected to nose, it is called nose consciousness, Vijnana, Dhana Vijnana. Then tongue consciousness is called Jivha Vijnana. Then body consciousness is called Kaya Vijnana. Mind consciousness is called Mano Vijnana. Six classes, I said 6 classes of consciousness, not 6 different consciousness. Understand? Clear, right? Okay. Now the Buddha did not want to see this person as an individual. This is what is called individualism. Buddhism is not a sort of individualism. It is based on the mind based. Buddha talk about mind, not the person. In other faiths, in other religions, they talk about a person, the escape of a person, the release of a person, not the release of the mind. They want to release the person from what you call soul. They believe that there is a permanent entity which is called soul, which was emanated from the heaven, from Deva, the Creator, and after your death, it will be unified with the same Creator. That is the teaching. But Buddha talked about the mind. Buddha's teaching is based on the mind, where the Buddha talked on different occasions. Buddha talked about this. Mano Pubbangama Dhamma. That is the famous stanza, the first stanza of the Dhammapada. Mind is a forerunner. Chittena niyati loko. Buddha said, this world is led by the mind. Chittena niyati loko. Loka, what is loka? Loka is 5 aggregates. 5 aggregates are taken away with chittena, chitta, taken away with the mind. Taken away where? Taken away from this life to next life. Next life to next life, next to next to next, like that, 31 different realms. It is the mind. It is our mind that takes these 5 aggregates into different realms. Then chitta sankilesa bhikkave satta sankilisanti. Chitta vodana satta visujjanti. It's a fact. When the mind is defiled, beings are defiled. When the mind is purified, beings are purified. Very clear. Suddhi asuddhi pachatta nanyo manyam visode. Purity and impurity depend on oneself. No one can purify another. When the mind is liberated, one can understand that it is liberated. It is liberated means not I am liberated, not individual. The person is not liberated. Person means this body is not liberated. Mind is liberated. Our mind is to be liberated. not the person. So those who want to understand about the Buddha's definitions and the way that the Buddha has explained the mind, better read the chapter Chitta Vagga of the Dhammapada. In the Dhammapada there is a particular chapter.
I have a question.
Yes?
So, in your previous slide,
Mm-hmm.
is it significant that the Buddha said, chitta instead of mano or vijnana, so that the world is led by the mind? Is that more of the heart mind as opposed to the intellect or the perception?
Well, the mind, when you say mind, the term in English, though we use these two different terms, since in English we don't have three different terms, that's a problem. Since that problem is there, it is quite difficult to understand the nature of the mind in our language. That is the language barrier. So when the Buddha said mano, basically mano means mind, where the mind is connected to your brain. That is where you use the word mind. When the mind is connected to heart, that is emotional. Whenever you see the object, whenever you perceive, perception takes place with the support of consciousness. That is called vijnana. Those are the three. Understand? Little bit. It's enough now. Huh? Later you can understand. Later you can understand much better. Huh? To understand, what should you do? You have to study. You have to talk with the monks, with those who know, not necessarily monks. Who knows? Who know the Dhamma, not necessarily monks. Huh? Who knows the Dhamma? Talk with those who know the real Dhamma, not the what you call fake Dhamma, not the counterfeit Dhamma, not counterfeit Dhamma. Real Dhamma taught by the Buddha.
I have a quick question.
Yeah?
When you say real Dhamma from Buddha, what is the material are you referring to?
Go to the original discourses. Long discourses, middle length teachings, numerical discourses, connected discourses, and minor anthologies. Only that. Huh? Can you move a little bit? I can't see you. I want to see you.
Tripitaka essentially based on the original Buddha's teaching, or is it also being added by something else?
I told you what to read. I told you only 5. Long discourses, middle length discourses, connected discourses, numerical discourses, and minor anthologies. Those are what we call spring. Drink water from the spring. Understand? Very good. Always drink water. If you want to drink pure water, go to the spring. Spring is that. Others are Buddhist literature. Literature means embellishment. Huh? Embellishment. Okay. Next I want to show you that this is what is called the 3 aspects of the mind. This is the same thing. 3 aspects means when the mind is connected to heart, when the mind is connected to brain, and the 6 senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. These are 3 aspects of mind.
Mind same as brain?
Mind means you can't see mind. Simply the brain is one, as I said, mind is connected to the brain, connected to heart, and connected to the 6 sense bases. Mind, since you can't see mind, wherever you want to talk about mind, you show the brain, right? To understand the mind. Mind, you can't see mind.
Yeah, we
Nobody
can't
can see the
and
mind.
We can't say that mind is there in
Yeah.
body. This place is mind. It's not connected to the.
Yeah, it is connected to, basically it is connected to these three places. That is why this argument. Mind you cannot see.
So, Bhante, if the mind can connect to only one of these three places at a given time?
What is that?
Can mind be connected to only one of these three places at a time?
No, only one at a time, not three places. Even in the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and the mind, 6 places. Those 6 places are given. The 6 places are consciousness, which is called vijnana. There again, in that case also, only one at a time. When the mind is connected to your eye, it is not connected to ear, not connected to nose, tongue, or any other place. Only one at a time. That is the beauty of this. It's a benefit for the practitioners. It's very good. Okay, so now individual and happiness, we all do things to be happy. What you call happiness of ownership, happiness of enjoyment, happiness of freedom from debt. These are called 3 types of happiness. We all should have this happiness. This is why we work hard. Days and night you work hard to be happy. With these 3 types of happiness, you can gain only 1/16 of happiness. Only 1/16 of happiness. 15/16 are this happiness. You must have this happiness. Happiness of blamelessness. Blamelessness. Whenever you think of yourself, your consciousness, your conscience, according to your heart, you yourself have to understand that I am blameless. I am blameless of this. With that, you can be more happy. That is why it is said that 15/16 is gained through that happiness. Can you understand this? 16th means in the moon there are 16 spaces, right? Today is the 15th spaces completed. But by tomorrow, 16/16. By tomorrow the moon is fully completed. Nothing lacking. Even today there is little bit which we can't see though. It's 15. That is called Pasaloswaka. Pasaloswaka. Today is called Pasaloswaka. But tomorrow, the Asevaka 16th, Soloswaka. Soloswaka will be tomorrow. Where 16/16. That is why 16th is taken here.
Bhante, what is actually mean by blamelessness?
Blameless means when you think of your, when to your heart, honestly, when you think of yourself, you should be able to understand that you are blameless verbally, mentally and physically. 3 ways. If you have done anything wrong, you cannot be happy, right? Suppose you have killed a bean. Whenever you think of that, you are blamed. You are blamed. You are not blameless. If you have killed a bean intentionally, you are to be blamed, right? If you have done something wrong to your son, your daughter, your husband, your wife, then you are blamed, right? You are not blameless. So that is why whenever we work, whenever we live in society, we have to live life to be blameless. Okay, next is earn while you are young. You are young now. Now is the time to earn. Otherwise, what happen? Those who have not led a holy life and have failed to acquire wealth in youth, languish like old cranes in a pond without fish. These are the cranes. See these cranes? That is what happened if we do not earn when we are young. Earn means what? Earn money? Money? Wealth? Yes, there are wealth. There are 7 types of wealth. Saddha Dhanang, Sila Dhanang, Hiri Dhanang, Ottappa Dhanang, Sutta Dhanang, Chaga Dhanang, Panya Dhanang. 7 type of dhana, wealth. Saddha, confidence. Conviction. You have to have confidence. You have to trust the Buddha. That is the first thing. Trust the Buddha's enlightenment. That is necessary. Saddha Dhanang. Sila Dhanang. Next, Sila Dhanang. Sila means virtue. Now today you all observe Sila. Virtuous. Not observing these precepts. Mentally, verbally, physically, you have to understand that you are virtuous enough. You are restrained in your words and body, and mind is meditation. So, Sila Dhanam, Hiri Dhanam, moral shame, Ottappa Dhanam, moral dread, Ottapyang Dhanam, Sutta Dhanam. Sutta means listening to the Dhamma, study the Dhamma. That itself is wealth. Chaga Dhanam, practice generosity. Sutta Dhanam, Chago cha Panya. Panya means wisdom, develop wisdom. That itself is wealth. Those are the wealth to be achieved, to be acquired. 7 types of wealth. Now, how to apply Buddhism in daily life? In order to apply Buddhism, you have to understand birth of a being. Khandānaṁ pātubhāvo āyatanānaṁ patilābho. That is what the Buddha said. Buddha said, what the birth is. Jātipi dukkha, jarapi dukkha, you know this. Jarapi dukkha, maranampi dukkha, like that. Birth is suffering, decay is suffering, death is suffering, association with bad ones is suffering, dissociation with from good ones is suffering. Like that, eventually Buddha said, in short means summarizing them all, Buddha said, Panchupadanakkhandha dukkha sankittena Panchupadanakkhandha dukkha. That is what is called dukkha. Panchupadanaskandha, obtained in the sense basis and the manifestation of the aggregates. Panchupadanakkhandha, manifested. 5 aggregates are manifesting. Patubhava. That is what is called birth of a person. Where we have to understand 5 aggregates properly. 5 aggregates are not gained, not born, but manifesting. Where? In the eye, in the ear, in the nose, tongue, body and the mind.
So here Panchapadanaskandha is like form, feeling, those are the ones, right? Form, feeling, perception, volitional formation and consciousness, right? Feeling is here, in the ear, right? Form is what you perceive, what you see. Form is not only through eyes. Hearing, sound itself is a form. Smell itself is a form. Taste itself is a form. That is the aggregate, form aggregate. Tangible itself is a form. Then mental form, 6 types of form, 6 types of feeling, 6 types of perception, 6 types of volitional formation, 6 types of consciousness. That is to be understood first. Then the Buddha said this clearly. Aggregates and vijnana. The station of consciousness. That is what I said earlier. Because though someone might say, apart from form, apart from feeling, apart from perception, apart from volitional formations, I will make known the coming and going of consciousness. That is, apart from consciousness, somebody might say that apart from form there is consciousness. Or apart from consciousness there is feeling, like that. Buddha said, no, it is impossible to say that. That means consciousness is all the time with other 4 elements, 4 aggregates: feeling, perception, volitional formation and consciousness. I'll tell you one thing. Now, Buddha has talked about Nama Rupa, mentality and physicality. Buddha has clearly mentioned Nama means feeling, perception, volitional formation, contact and attention. These 5. Rupa means 4 elements, so they are derivatives. But later on, in the history of Buddhism, Nama Rupa was introduced differently. As Rupa means 1, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. So this is what is called Rupa. Then Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana are called Nama. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen this clarification or classification of Nama Rupa? Have you ever seen that? That is what is taught in Abhidhamma. You all have learned this from Dhammapasala, right? Which is not in the original teaching of the Buddha. That is what I want to see. I want to tell you this truth, where consciousness is also included in mentality. Mentality cannot be, consciousness cannot be included in mentality. That is the point. Where the Buddha said, Nama Rupa Pachya Vijnanang, Vijnana Pachya Nama Rupan, like yin and yang. Both these should go interdependently. Nama Rupa depend on Vijnana, Vijnana depend on Nama Rupa. Right? Can you understand that? Think of that later. Okay. This is what happened. If you miss 5 aggregates, this is what happened. For those who miss the 5 aggregates, miss the whole Dhamma. If you grasp this body as 5 aggregates, you are missing that. This Dhamma is for whom? This technique, this Dhamma is only for the wise. Panyavato ayam Dhammo, nayang Dhammo, duppanyasa. This Dhamma is for the wise, not for the stupid. Buddha said, Bhikkhus, I will teach you the all. Listen to that. And what bhikkhus is that all? The eye and forms, the ear and sound, the nose and odors, the tongue and taste, the body and tactile objects, the mind and mental phenomena. This is called the all. if anyone bhikkhu should speak thus, having rejected this all, I shall make known another all, that would be a mere empty boast on his part. All means eye and the form, ear and sound. What we call all in the whole world is nothing but this, because we have to see, we have to hear, we have to smell things in the world through these senses. That is how the Buddha condensed the whole world into these 12 bases. 12 bases. The mind science of the Buddha. Have you ever heard of this? Mind science of the Buddha? This is the book now I am writing. I have written about 60 books. I have written about 60 books, both in Sinhala and English. Nowadays I am writing this book, about 400 pages. That's meditation, nothing but meditation. Within the 6 sense bases, whole Dhamma is within the 6 sense bases. I have given several talks in Singapore about this. Last year I went there for retreats, and then I gave talks on the dependent origination based on this. And this year also I will be going there. So the mind science of the Buddha, the technique of meditation, that is the meditation. Mind science. Within the 6 sense bases, you have to realize the Dhamma within the 6 sense bases. That is the mind science taught by the Buddha. It's the mental process with the 6 sense bases. Within the 6 sense bases. The whole technique should be understood through the lens of properly developed wisdom. Wisdom. Without wisdom, you cannot understand this mind science of the Buddha. Okay. When we study the 5 aggregates, there are 7 cases, 7 places to be understood, 7 things to be understood. Like form. When we understand form, we have to understand form, its origination of form, how the form is arising, its cessation, and the way leading to the cessation, its gratification, its danger, and its escape. These are the 7 things to be understood regarding form. Then likewise the feeling. Feeling is to be understood, its origin, its cessation, its way leading to the cessation, then its gratification, its danger, and escape.
What did you say, Master? Vipassana jnana?
No, not Vipassana jnana.
This is what you call
Asada
Asada,
adinava.
adinava,
Yeah,
nisarana.
right. This is the samudaya, vaya, nirodha, and then asada, adinava, nissarana of the 5 aggregates are to be understood. Then this is based on this particular discourse, what you call Sattatthana Sutta. Sattatthana Sutta is a very important discourse from connected discourses of the Buddha, where Buddha said that one should, this is the way to study the Dhamma. If we want to study the Dhamma, we have to study these different discourses. Now Buddha then pointed out the triple things to investigate. What are the triple things? 18 elements. We have 18 elements to be understood. Then six sense bases. Then the dependent origination. Dependent origination. So, I guess you know dependent origination. What is the Paticca we are taught today? Is that what the Buddha said? Or what the Buddha Ghosa said? Or from Abhidhamma? From where we got this?
Right, there were some elements added in the beginning.
Abhidhamma, what you call Paticca Samuppada, what we are taught today is connected 3 lifetimes, which is not in the original discourses of the Buddha. If you want to study the dependent origination, what the Buddha really taught, you better read the connected discourses, chapter 12. Chapter 12, connected discourses. Read that and understand what the Buddha talked about dependent origination. It is happening here now. When this is there. Not from the past lives. Not to next life. Here. The whole Dhamma is here now. This Dhamma is unaffected by time. Unaffected by time. Buddha's Dhamma is unaffected by akaliko Dhammo, not past, future, but here.
So one of the area we understood is connecting to this life to the past, and future was the one we...
3 lives,
Yeah,
connected. Connected 3 lives. That is the way that we are taught, which is not from the original discourses. So when you study the original discourses, you can understand that this is not that what the Buddha said. If it is not what the Buddha has said, what is to be done? Buddha gave 4 references, right? Satara Apadesa, Saptara Maha Apadesa. There are things we call Satara Maha Apadesa, where you can reject. If Buddha said, whoever say, if it is not fitting, if it is not tally with what the Buddha said, you can reject it. Whoever said it. And it's Kalama Sutta, same thing. If it is not fitting, if it is not good, if it is not wholesome, what should you do? Should you accept? No, reject it. Okay. Quickly we can go through a couple more things. This is another discourse which is I want to point you out some important discourses. Those who are interested, read this, and then you can understand what the Buddha said. This is another discourse from Majjhima Nikaya, the middle length teachings of the Buddha. By the way, Majjhima Nikaya, you have to read Majjhima Nikaya. What's your name? What is your name? Your name?
Heidi.
Huh?
Heidi.
Heidi. He's a good practitioner. Huh? Yeah? You will have to read original teachings, middle length teachings of the Buddha. Have you ever read this?
No.
Huh? Read this. Then you can understand what Dhamma is. This is regarding our perception. Whenever we see things, there arises this condition, gross dependently arisen. You have to, whenever you see the object, you have agitation, you have inclination to grasp things, or you have repulsion. But Buddha said, do not go to those extremes. Maintain balanced mind. In order to do that, we have to understand things as conditioned, something gross, something fragile, something dependently arisen. With that, you can come to a state of equanimity. You can maintain equanimous mind. That where equanimous is established quickly. Buddha gave these 6 different similes. As the stone man were to open his eyes quickly or shut his eyes quickly. It happens quickly. Equanimity is established in your eyes. Referring to the ear, as the stone man were to snapping fingers, quickly it happens. Quickly, if you come to understand that the object is conditioned, gross and dependently arisen, you can then understand, you can come to the state of equanimity quickly. Then as the raindrop roll off on the slightly sloping lotus leaf, if the raindrops drop on the lotus slightly slanting, it rolls away quickly. Things happen quickly. As the stone man were to spit out a bowl of saliva easily, as the stone man were to extend or flex his arms quickly, like this, quickly it happens. As the one or two drops of water fall on the heated iron plate. Suppose the iron plate is heated throughout the day, then you put 1 or 2 drops of water, then it evaporates quickly. It happens. Buddha gave these similes. Right? Then, this is your task now. This is the practice. This is the way to practice. Somebody asked, what time should we practice this or something like that. What is to be done by the wise? You are the wise. Then be like the elephant goes to the battlefield. Elephant who is ready to go to the battlefield, first thing to be done is listen well to the trainer and the rider. That is how to do that. To go to the battlefield, elephant should understand the instructions. In our case, we should understand the Dhamma. Listen well, listen to the Dhamma. Learn the Dhamma, study the Dhamma, study the words of the Buddha first. Understand what the Buddha taught, what the Buddha really taught, and what the Buddha really never taught. This should be understood. Then second thing, the elephant should destroy whatever to face. Whatever comes, he has to destroy. Like that, the meditator, the practitioner should destroy whatever comes to your mind. Whatever comes to your mind, that is your practice. So in order to practice this, you can't sit on the cushion all the time. Wherever you are, while you are driving, while you are eating, while you are drinking, while you are playing, while you are walking, whatever you are doing, whenever they comes to your mind, destroy. That's just like the elephant goes to the battlefield, you have to destroy the thoughts. These are called discursive thoughts. Discursive thoughts of sensuality, sensual thoughts, ill will thoughts, and then cruelty thoughts. Such thoughts are to be destroyed. Then practice patience. You have to have patience. Without patience, you cannot practice this. Then go wherever it is directed. That means the elephant should go wherever it is directed, it should go. Just like that, whatever possible, you have to experience whatever possible. That's the way to practice in daily life. First, study, understand the Dhamma. In order to understand the Dhamma, you have to study the original teachings of the Buddha. Without that, you cannot. You can just sit somewhere and meditate for a few minutes and then be satisfied. You are satisfied with what you are doing. Mindfulness of breathing or metta, like that, is not enough. Not clear application. Clear application, the profitable, beneficial application is understanding your own thoughts and destroying your thoughts. Destroying all evil thoughts. That's the way. Okay, then there are two paths, karma path and Dhamma path. Black karma, white karma, black and white karma, and these three types of karma leads us to samsara. Black karma means unwholesome, white karma means wholesome. Black and white means both. Black and white means wholesome and unwholesome karma. What you call punya, papa, or jhana. These are two samsara, 31 realms. Then Dhamma path is neither black nor white karma. Dhamma path, that is the Dhamma path, that is the path of the Buddha. This is not the Buddha's path. Karma path is not the Buddha's path. Dhamma path is the Buddha's path. In order to understand this, you have to have right understanding, perfect understanding, where there are two types of right understanding. Right understanding, which is leaning to punya, wholesome, where we are doing dana, sila, bhavana. Dana, sila, bhavana. Practicing this, we are going to samsara. It's good for the sansaric journey. Then the other one is to destroy taints. Noble, taintless factor for the noble path. That is the second type of sammaditthi. Sammaditthi is twofold.
Bhante, what is the singular meaning of the taint?
Asava. We talked about this morning, right? Asava. This is the way to practice. This is the application. Now, discursive thoughts of sensuality arise wherever you are, whatever you are doing, while you are cooking, while you are sleeping, lying down. These thoughts arise, sensual thoughts, or discursive thoughts of ill will, vyapada vitaka, or discursive thoughts of cruelty arise. Whenever such thoughts arise, these are to be applied. How to apply? First, you have to understand this thought. This thought is the form. This is a form. Form is to be understood, and you to understand that it is not relevant. First, you have to label it as this is not something relevant to me. Not relevant to me means you are not ready to accept it, not going to welcome. Do not welcome. Do not accept. That is the first thing to practice. In order to apply this, you have to understand. Understand when it comes to your mind. Through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and the mind. Only these 6 doors. Not all the 6 all the time. Only one at a time. That is the beauty. When it is through the ear, it's only through the ear. Understand, giving attention, understand that this is something irrelevant, not relevant to me. I don't accept. Don't accept. Then abandon it, expel it, exterminate it, and obliterate it. That is what is said in the Girimananda Sutta. Nadivaseti, pajahati, vinodeti, byanti karoti, anabhavam gameti. That's this. That's it. That is the way to apply Buddhism in daily life. So let's understand this and try to apply Buddhism in daily life. These two persons, one named Hemaka, came to the Buddha and said, Bhante, I went to different teachers before I came to you. Some of them taught me something happened in the past. Some others told me something will happen in future. Bhante, I don't like both these. I want something to practice now. Teach me. Then the Buddha said, dispel desire and lust, Hemaka, of forms of what you see. What you see is form. Then when you see the object, you have desire, then dispel it. Desire and lust, dispel it. What you hear, dispel that desire and lust. Then smell, dispel desire towards the form aggregate. Then taste, tactile and cognize, whichever has a please in nature. Please in nature. It has a please in nature. That is why you want to grasp it. Dispel it. That itself is the state of Nibbana. Where is Nibbana? Should you go to next life to experience Nibbana? Friends, we normally say, may he attain Nibbana. May she attain Nibbana after death. Where? Where are they heading? Is there any other place to go to attain Nibbana, experience Nibbana? No. Here we have to experience Nibbana here. So this is Nibbana. If you expel desire and lust, you can experience Nibbana in your eye, in your ear, nose, tongue, body, like that. That is what the Buddha taught to Hemaka. Another person, Pingya. This is the last two. Pingya went to the Buddha and said, Bhante, I am old, just like most of us. Me too. Pingya went to the Buddha and said, Bhante, I am old, weak, my color is gone, my eyesight is not clear, my hearing is faint. Do not let me perish confused along the way. Declare the Dhamma that I might understand the abandoning here and birth and old age. The old person went to the Buddha and said this. Then the Buddha said, I don't read in Pali. Having seen those stricken by forms, whatever the form means, not what you see all there, not out there. It is inside. It is the reflection. Form means it is to be understood. It is because of that form we are sort of stricken. We are afflicted. Therefore, understand that having seen those stricken by forms, people who are heedless, due to their heedlessness, they are afflicted by forms. Therefore, Pingya, being heedful, being mindful, be mindful. Without mindfulness, you cannot practice. Be mindful. Whenever you see, whenever you hear, whenever you smell, be mindful. And abandon form for an end to renewal existence. No rebirth. If you can apply that, no rebirth, because you cut off rebirth here. So this is to be practiced, all these 4 postures, while you are walking, standing, sitting, or lying down. So friends, this is the way to practice. Let's understand this wonderful teaching of the Buddha. Deathlessness means whenever he sees with insight the rise and fall of the 5 aggregates. 5 aggregates are the most important thing. You have to understand the rising and passing nature of 5 aggregates. Then he is full of joy and happiness, he or she. Know that it is the deathless. Know that it is Nibbana. Experience Nibbana. Seeing this rising, passing nature of the 5 aggregates. That is the real teachings of the Buddha from the original discourses. So, friends, let's all understand this wonderful teachings of the Buddha. Let's all understand and put this into practice in our daily life so that we can live happily, peacefully, light-heartedly. Wherever we go, wherever we live, we can live happily, peacefully. One day we can close eyes peacefully. That is what we all need. May we all realize that real peace, real happiness of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Bhante, this was like a wonderful, excellent presentation. Having seen many innovation disclosures in physical world, this is like a perfect one in the spiritual one, but we do not know how to tell because we haven't attended it. But it's like a flow and everything is very excellent.
Thank you.